All right, well, we're here, just walking in to the entrance of Ephesus, the ancient city of Ephesus. And as we come in, we can already start seeing the rubble of the ancient structures. And even some megalithic blocks almost quite in there. Some old foundational rocks. It'd be interesting to see in Ephesus if we see multiple timelines going on here too. The conclusion, of course, is yes. Oh my goodness gracious me. This is the road, Marble Road. Lined in columns. Piles of blocks. I have no idea where they came from, or how to put them back together, or how they even got all smashed apart in the first place. They're trying to piece some things back together with a crane. It's a slow go. Interesting, the foundational stones get bigger and bigger. These massive blocks, and again, no care of what the outside surface looked like. See that? It could even be an earlier time. That's a rebuild later. And look at this chunk of piece. Feels like that was the top and this is flipped upside down. Just beautiful stonework. If anything is used mortar, it's new. Newer. They used columns, fluted columns to build walls. Because there were so many broken columns. Well, let's just use it, put this wall together. If it's like a forklift needed to go in there to pick up the stone, put some holes in there. That's very possible it's been re-put back together. It's almost like there's a smooth stone carved wall, but behind it is that megalithic unsmooth wall. It's like they dropped another wall in front of it. Doesn't it? A little bit? You see that? When you get to the foundation stones, here to the corner, right? On top of another beautiful stone that's perfectly carved round on one side. And then this has been chipped. So something else was here. See how this is perfectly smooth and then it's chop, 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 chop? It could have done this and then made a lip. And this is a later addition to this. See how the stone color changes here? And this has been shaped to try and match this new wall.
Right.
This is smooth, but that's chippy. Just saying, it begs some questions. Why the underside is perfectly smooth. Interesting too that you see the nub squares in the stones?
Yeah.
The nubs sticking out. Two nubs. That stone has a nub. See, some of those stones have nubs. Consistent in a lot of ancient archaeology and a lot of ancient old big stones, they got these nubs sticking out of them. But what begs the question is, why did they not carve them off at the end when it was all put together and smooth it off? See, this seems so innocent, this scrap column lying here, but look, it's granite. Granite's not from around here exactly. The marble is, but the granite. And it can come from Turkey, but not necessarily near here.
I agree.
And granite is hard to carve. Touch that stone, you would think it's rough, right? Do you feel the smoothness on the surface?
It's like glass.
It looks rough and it's smooth. It's been polished. The chips in here could be that this wall was restacked, and I'm not sure why. In ancient of days, maybe they had to put two straps through here, and it was the only way they could get this stone back on top. Who chipped all these out and made it ugly? I don't understand it for no apparent purpose yet. Well, here it's round, and then shaped, and then around on here. They did not carve this on a lathe. What do you mean little idols? Where? Help me out. These little niches?
Yes. When especially the Roman soldiers, gladiators, whatnot,
Right.
all the way going to the games or whatever, they worship different idols. So they will put their little idols here.
You think so? Wow.
Yes.
No, that's
it's
fair.
a history, because I've been here 100 times.
Oh, well, I've been here. This is my second. And the first time was 20 years ago.
Oh my gosh, I come here all the time because I have so many friends from all over the world.
You're with us.
I'm Turkish. I'm Turkish.
You're with us.
I am very proud of my country.
I could see that.
These people will come here. This road will be all lit up with torches.
Yeah?
And they will go to the arena, have whatever they're having. These will be all little idols placed all over, and you will see it everywhere. So they believed in tiny little idols. They're made usually from clay, sometimes with metal as well, but metal was more expensive.
Right.
So they would carry them. So it has to be, some of them had to be with sun, some of them had to be with moon, some of them had both, whatever. You gotta come and see it. You don't get this from the...
I'm liking you.
This is an actual hooker's footprint, this.
What?
Yep. And if there was a coin in there, it said, we're open for business and brothels that way. And this person's foot, I don't know who it is, but at least 2,000 years old, at least.
Right.
So interesting, isn't it? We'll find at various places of the walkways.
Right.
This is the symbols of Christians for having a secret meeting, because the Romans did not like Christians gathering together.
Right.
So, because the penalty was sometimes death.
Right.
And they will carve this and leave it at certain places. And the people who sees this will go certain areas. They will follow, and then this will become their symbol to meet somewhere. So they had their open meetings in public, in blind sight, in open sight, and nobody would know that they're having a meeting. Here is the library.
Oh,
this library had the world's most beautiful collection.
Wow.
And Mark Antony, when Cleopatra came, wanted to give her something special, and he gave all the books to her.
Oh.
Papyrus, But on the way to Egypt, the boat...
We've lost so much information of the ancients, haven't we?
We did, yeah. We did.
This is the brothel, the largest building with the largest square footage. And apparently they found a tunnel that went from the library to the brothel underground. So literally a guy would say, I'm going to go to the library, honey, and then end up in the brothel.
Unbelievable.
But inside is really beautiful.
Paul, when he was here for about 3 or 4 years, he actually brought a couple of people from Greece, became Christians, and they were tent makers. He was a tent maker too. So in his normal time, he would make tents, sell them on the market over there, and in his off hours, he would preach the gospel to those little spots we were talking about.
Wow. Yeah. Right? We have that biblical history that's connected to here.
Absolutely. Paul spent more years, scholars think anywhere from 2 to 4 years, majority think it's somewhere close to 4, in Ephesus. That was the majority of his time spent with, because there was
so much going on here, right?
And of course, Paul was in the amphitheater when people were selling their idols, Artemis and other idols that they had.
Right.
And he was trying to get away from those gods, thinking about one God. And what happened was the people that were selling those things got so upset because he was going to take their business away to say, well, you don't want to be doing this idol business. So he was going to speak to the Ephesians over here in the amphitheater. He was in the back room, and the authorities came, grabbed him, took him to the end of the walkway you saw in the other area, to the port, put him in a locked house, and then he was sent over to Rome
where he was in prison for a long time. It's a reproduction, but they probably have the original in the museums, if you know what I mean.
We may have even seen it at the museum today and not realized it was taken from here.
I feel like that's a reproduction too. They've taken them out. And much as this has been rebuilt too. In fact, most of it might be rebuilt. See how there's original pieces up in there? This may also be fake. They rebuilt it so we could see what it looked like. Just the quick facade. Mm-hmm. They probably found it all in crumbles and they repieced it back together. So some of it may be original, some of it might be fake, but at least it gives us a feeling of the grandness of what the buildings were once, when all we see is rubble on the site, right?
See, menorah. Jews also lived here.
Oh, wow.
And they wanted to meet or whatever, they would leave signs, like the Christians do the circles.
Right.
You know. people walk by here and they don't even see it.
Of course not. If you don't know it's there, you don't see it.
Here is an interesting thing. You will see a lot of Roman statues,
Right.
ladies or gentlemen. They will not have any heads on it.
Right.
That's because while later the artists got sick of doing another one, they just took the heads off, used the same base, and put new head on it.
Ah, now this is me.
That's what
Oh, we don't want you anymore.
Exactly.
Put another head on
You
there.
see a lot of them in the museums.
This room has been rebuilt so many times out of rubble. It's not even original to anything anymore.
Probably not. Except that I can see the walls. After a certain time, it's been redone because
Many times.
that red bricks were
Right.
not in until so many years.
Oh,
ago.
so many years later, and even those blocks
Because
are
Romans
made
did
out
not
of
use
rubble
those.
from older
Older
stuff
stuff,
again.
exactly.
You can see a lot of mismatches of things, and we know the original builders, everything was perfection. This lady's helpful and very kind.
Great to get the more recent history very accurate.
Yes.
And this here, behind it, when you go climb it, is the public washrooms.
Good.
That's like the golf to them because all the business was done in the public bathrooms. There you are. I'm not
Wow.
kidding.
All the columns that are in here too.
Well, they're for cataloging.
They're probably older.
Yeah. They've been excavating here for almost 50 years.
Wow.
But only 25% of Ephesus is discovered.
Only 25%.
The rest is still in discovery
Buried.
process. somewhere,
Wow.
yeah. So here's
75% still buried in.
So what they did normally is that rich people bring their servants to get washed.
Right.
They will have a sponge on a stick,
Right?
do whatever. Rich people. Poor people, they use the same sponge. And sometimes they would do is that they will bring the bullfrogs here. Then they'll make so much noise because you're also making noise. So they didn't want to be in.
Dip into the office and do some business. What do you think of this site? Interesting. Eh?
This part doesn't excite me as much.
Well, fair enough. But there generally are not too many megalithic blocks here. It's been repurposed so many times. So that would be the god Hadrian up top there.
Like the goddess.
Those fluted spirals, the rest are out of a marbleized pink stone. You can see they were probably quite colorful in their original days. They faded now. See that metal band there? We saw the same metal banding done on those stone repairs
Yes.
in Ancora, on those red things, that same metal work. We saw that metal work too around the Blue Mosque. Remember we saw the wall around the Blue Mosque, but all the metal pieces were missing? Same technology right there to repair an old block that has once broken. They eventually declared it as awe,
Oh, that's it.
and then all the other religions got demolished. Oh, the constant ebb and flow of the cycles. Oh, I see some nice stones. Maybe they're new. Oh, they're probably just new. Never mind. It's been repurposed so many times. It's hard to see what the original was. Isha, this lady we met, has been very kind in sharing a lot of information with us. But again, it's more of the recent history, not its ancient history, because really the true ancient history we really don't know.
The ancient
We don't.
history is in Mesopotamia.
Yes, right?
You're looking at 10, 12,000 years.
Yes, that's where I want to go,
To
but this
us-
is the closest I
To
can get
us,
and be safe.
This is a near history.
Exactly,
Yes.
this is new history, I know that.
Young,
But it also has been repurposed many times, even though it's the new history. No, I haven't seen anything megalithic yet. I knew that particular column is pretty big. They picked it because it was colorful with the pink and the blotches all in there. It would have been beautiful. Polished, it would have gleamed with color.
no.
But it's just about getting those massive stone blocks. It was definitely a culture. The reason why they started all this marble stuff and stuff here was because there was already something magnificent here before them.
You see it now.
Yeah, I like this building. For some reason, it resonates with me a bit more, even though it's not as pretty as these other sites. It's really old. This is older than all the marble stuff.
Probably.
About this feels different, played in the genetic information. This is older. I like this. This is approaching megalithic. It's right on the cusp of megalithic. Either second rebuild, or even if it wasn't rebuilt, it was done during that time. Look at the quality of this wall. Different game. That's a different game. That's reset and a new game. And we already know that's not the first game from around here.
No, we've seen older.
Right? Especially at Hattusa, we saw these blocks. Remember we saw the blocks repurposed and they were all square blocks, but nicely carved?
Yes.
That second repurposing, that's the same era as this.
Right.
See that? It's been repurposed already. Even this wall has been repurposed. And it is stellar. So it does prove there was even older stuff here yet. The size of those columns getting bigger. They may have been cut and spliced, restacked, and written on, repurposed. Hey, this, another era. Starts to get me more excited. You can see a fluted column, and don't get me wrong, I love them. But that's older. Nice big block. Looks like it's been blocks. Height of the doorway, the size of the steps. Begs the question, it was a bigger person. This is not quite human size. Oh, I'm a midget climbing out of here. Do you see that? It's not very convenient. The Nephilim, the men of renown, the giants. Right, it's talked about. Why? Where are their houses? Where are their places? These could have been. This could have been the place of the giants. It was an original theater, but it could have been where they were all marble covered, and then they take the marble off to use for other reconstruction purposes. You see the lion feet there, right?
Which is curious.
Right? Very specific architecture. It doesn't matter where you go in the country. Same architecture for the theaters, same architecture for buildings, same column designs, same fluted design. I don't know. I think it's blown to bits.
Scattered.
They say everything was destroyed by an earthquake. Fair enough, but I just can't see an earthquake strewing about and smashing it to this level of pieces. That red granite's interesting because red granite is not from here. That's from Egypt.
Yes, correct.
Right?
Well, they had the close ties with Egypt
Yes.
once upon a time.
That's spectacular how they can bring that all the way from Egypt to here in antiquity. Right? And get it up this hill. Interesting.
Yeah.
When you see granite here from deep inside Egypt on the top of this hill, just, you know, you can't assume that. I can only assume that marble columns and other granite columns were all brought in from faraway places, and it almost feels like, I don't know, the abundance of it just confuses everywhere. There's a greater story than what's being told. Yes, all the repurposing stories are true. Yes, it was used as wineries and bathhouses and marketplaces, and right, here's a wall that's previous game. Because it's a rough faced, you think they could carve a beautiful marble column perfect, but then they would do this, so it's a different era. In my opinion. I think some of this black stone is more original road. See how rough it is? And they're really big stones. This is an old road right here. If you're gonna make a road, am I gonna go carve this dark black granite stone or these big marble stones, haul them all the way from the quarry, massive stone, cut it all square and just put it down to make my road base? This black stone stuff I think is the old road from first game stuff. Look at the size of these. Good news is everything is downhill from here. Columns strewn all over the place. It's litter. There are more columns strewn around this place than garbage. Romans just built all this. They had 10 years and they built this. Well, if that's the case, we should be able to build this in 10 years, right? I'm exaggerating on the 10 years, but it's just that whole time period and said they built all of this. If you're talking about one piece and one stone, I get it. But when you see cities all like this, and all over Greece and all over Italy and all over Turkey and all over Malta, it doesn't get into other cultures, just this design. Well, this may be newer, but there's some interesting things in here to see, I guess. This is how they found it. They've rebuilt it, but this is when they came here. Evidence of it destroyed. Beautiful sliced, colorful stones to make wall panels. Wow. Mosaic floors. I've never seen slab before, but it is new because you can see it's placed over brick walls. So it's not old. There are columns like this. And they repurposed them, but those are old. And I think the mosaic floors could have been from the time of the columns. Cut me 3 million little squares and place them in a pattern, please. It's as if time, expense, and money and design meant nothing. Just give me the most beautiful that could be done. Inconsequential of whether it's a granite column or a marble column or beautiful capitals or mosaic floors. And we don't even see all the gold that was in there at one time and all the other fabrics and silks and glassware and their tables and their furniture and the statues and you can see how the statues are standing. We're just standing there naked with their clothes blowing in the wind. All the men look like feminine. They've never done an inch of work in their life. They've never touched a thing in their life. Right? And if you could say it was one king and his family, you'd get it. You've seen how many of those sculptures there are. So this probably was a lot of the newer houses up here that supported the city. It was just made out of rubble, clay, smeared with almost, not even as hard as concrete plaster that they painted. I'm sure it looked pretty and beautiful, don't get me wrong, but it's not old. Less than 2,000 years, or in that era. The Roman era was 2,000-ish years ago. I wonder how they cut slabs of stone so thin to create the wall panels. We figured out how to slice marbles and granites in thin sheets, but I've got 4x8 sheets of marble.
Not cracked.
Half-inch thick,
and never
glued
cracked
to the wall. And I appreciate that wasn't put on there in this century. I appreciate it is hundreds or 1,000 years old. I don't even know how they did that one.
with chisels and hammers.
Oh, okay. I got it. Hammers and big slabs of marble don't get along. A thin sheet of marble and a hammer. They don't get along, they're not friends. No. If you know what I mean. Yeah. We have stonework in perfect straight lines, and they couldn't paint a straight line. Not the same era. But the floor that they put around it could be older.
I agree.
Hence, let's build a room here, because look at the beautiful floor. That's a beautiful mosaic. With the lion, of course, always a lion. Number one is...
How can you do a mosaic that looks more beautiful and detailed than what you can paint on a wall?
Correct. Doesn't make sense, does it? The paintings on the wall are more amateur than the stone artwork in the floor.
Right.
for a mosaic, they're perfect.
And yet we see so many errors in the paint.
It's on the brick era. The bricks. We always make our buildings out of the cheapest, easiest way. Look at that Capitol. You know what's interesting? It's not marble.
No, it's blackstone.
Right, which means?
Old. Found it laying around, threw it in the wall.
Yes.
Mortared it together.
That's my favorite piece in this whole room. And I wanted you to see the mosaic floors. Our favorite place is this one rock ruin inside this wall.
Don't hate me, I love blackstone, okay?
I love blackstone too. At least we have the passion for the same stones. Remember that one in the museum with the man with two serpent-like legs, snake legs? They have a mosaic of that serpent-like character with horns. He's got horns holding a pitchfork-like thing. The female also has tails.
There's a horse in the middle of it too. Almost could be one of those horses. Didn't we see a horse with a mermaid tail in the form of like a bronze statue? That kind of like that too.
Mm-hmm. That is a sculpture of her. Oh, the horse has
Which is
a
why
tail.
I said that. Remember that bronze piece in the museum earlier today? We saw it a bronze. We saw the horse with the mermaid tail, and we went, "That's a little weird." That's a unique mosaic in this place.
In the sense, it's not all human. I was expecting the mosaic to be under on the floor or under the brick.
Right.
Okay, one is a rebuild, right? Sloppy. There's some original, and see this where it got fixed? Doesn't even match the original.
Right.
No one needed to make another pillar. There is an abundance of pillars. Just go to the backyard, right? There's pillars in the backyard here. Definitely repurposed. They had put these dotted lines to, I guess, maybe keep you from slipping on them. But these lines go this way. So that stone has been moved around at least once, or twice, or 3 or 4 times. If only 25% is covered, I'm sure this whole hill is just full of stuff if they were to start digging through. Oh, actually the main road, see all the columns in front? You can just see hints? That's the main road going down.
Yeah.
The water. See that field over there?
Yeah.
Used to be the lake bed. And then for some reason it dried up and they were no longer on the coast. And it started getting swampy and filled with mosquitoes. And the mosquitoes carried disease, and the disease killed everybody here. And they moved out. It's been moved around so many times, we really don't know what it originally was.
Right.
We can guess at what they made out of moving it around too. Oh, we've now made a bath house out of it.
Right.
We made a brothel. We've made a library. We got this merchant street, but it was all made out of the rubble that was here. This is a great piece. This is like an out-of-place artifact here at Ephesus. Not that columns are out of place, but this is the first purple column that we've seen here. And crazy enough, look at this repair work. This column has broken in half and has been dovetailed together with a piece of metal. That's not done in this century, the repair. It reminds us of the stone sarcophagi that we saw in Ankara Museum sitting out front.
Istanbul Museum.
Was it oh yeah, right,
Istanbul,
it was in Istanbul.
right in front of Istanbul.
Archaeological Museum.
There was 3 stone sarcophagus or tombs.
Right.
And it was made from this material. And it's the only other time we've seen this material.
And they also had a repair like this on them.
They did. Not as dovetailed.
It wasn't dovetailed though.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised. I remember going, I was expecting dovetail when I saw those. Smooth. Beautiful piece because it's out of place. It feels out of place. We're in the back 40s of Ephesus in a junk pile.